Speaking. Hi guys. It is Friday afternoon. It is sunny and cold. Um, this is going to be on YouTube. I believe tomorrow the library is going to upload it. It's a beautiful day, but it's a little bit chilly for me. But tomorrow is supposed to be almost 80 degrees. So guess where? Guess where we'll be? We will be at the beach. I packed away all the bathing suits the other day, and I don't care. I'm going to rip them all out, and we're going to go to the beach, and we're going to pretend it's not turning into fall. That's what we're going to do. So I hope everyone is well. I hope you're healthy. I hope you're feeling good. I'm thankful that you're joining me for this practice today. What we're going to do is a little bit of everything with some sun salutations thrown in just to get moving and get warm. I know some of you probably think I'm ridiculous that I'm cold, but I don't know what it is. The last couple of years, I just get cold super easy, especially when the temperature starts to change and the sun sets earlier and it's darker earlier. I'm sure a lot of it is in my head, but I go from wearing a bathing suit and being so happy and comfy on the beach to almost immediately wearing a hoodie with leggings and fuzzy socks. That's my MO. So my yoga practice changes as the weather changes, and I want to be warmer, so my practice is a little bit more vigorous sometimes when the weather is cooler. And I've been getting in a lot of cardio early in the morning, but I've been coming home kind of cold, so I've been diving right into sun salutations almost every morning just to warm myself up a little bit, and I thought that's what we would do. I actually had a whole other idea for a class today. It's something that's been brewing for probably a couple months, but I just can't figure out logistically how to do it for you as a video. So I think I'm making some progress. I think I'm getting a little closer. So maybe next week I will be able to do that with you. I think the phone shifted, right? I have a new case, and that's good. If it stays like that, that's good. And it's bulkier and bigger than my old phone case, and I'm not sure if it's going to slide. So if it does, I will have to readjust. But right now we're good. So lie on your back, arms at your side, palms up. Find your breath, and just get comfortable for just a quick minute, okay? Washed my hair for you today. It was especially gross. I'm not sure what happened to me this week, but I'm doing this workout challenge. I might have mentioned this in the last class with my best friend and her sister and some of her sister's friends, and it's not a contest. It's just kind of like a motivational, like every 14 days you set goals for what you want to accomplish fitness-wise, workout-wise over the 14-day period. And then you just check in with each other every day and post a picture of what you did. And it's not anyone saying, oh my gosh, you didn't do enough. It's totally the opposite, but it kind of motivates you to keep going because you want to get their praise and their thumbs up and their hearts when you post your stuff. So I feel like I've been walking and doing a lot more cardio this week than I normally would, just to get the nice happy praises from my workout group. One day I walked almost 7 miles. That's insanity. It was broken up. It was 5 miles in the morning, which is like a 5-mile route that I've regularly done, and then there was more added on. But at the end of the day, when I looked at it, it was like 16,000 steps or something, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. But in real life, you just don't have time to keep that up. So that was probably a one-hit wonder. But what I put as my goals were, I think I put either 40 or 45 miles over the 2-week period, and I think I put 4 yoga classes and maybe 4 Tabata classes, which is my strength training. So it's not hard. I kind of even downplayed my miles a little bit in case we had rainy days, or in case I just was super tired one day and didn't want to wake up. But it's not hard, and it's nice to have a group of people kind of cheering you on. But it's definitely made me a lot more tired because I'm keeping up a more rigorous pace. So by the time I get home from swim team taxiing at the end of every day for each boy, I'm ready to go to sleep at like 8:30, and I can't because then I'll be up at 2:30 in the morning. So a little bit of juggling that's going on, but right now I have the most energy I'm going to have all day, so it's good that we're together. All right, close your eyes, arms are at your sides, palms up. Take a minute and just summon your breath. Find that breath that we've talked about this quite a bit, but find that breath that you don't have to think about a whole lot, except you're thinking about it a lot because you want it to be conscious, but you also want it to be hardly any thought goes into it at all. You know? I may have mentioned this a couple weeks ago too, but there's someone I follow on Instagram, a yogi, and she breathes totally different than I was ever taught to breathe, to do my yoga breathing. So I've been trying to incorporate a little bit of that into my own practice so that before I start to incorporate it into my teaching, it's something I'm comfortable with. That's how I like to teach. I like to make whatever I'm teaching comfortable for me before I bring it to my students so that I know what I'm talking about and I can bring my own personal experience into it. But this woman breathes in through her nose and then exhales through her mouth, and it's almost a forceful exhale. It's a conscious exhale, but it's almost a little rough. You know what I mean? Like the inhale is smooth, and then the exhale is almost a little bit aggressive, but it kind of feels nice when you get into the rhythm of it. And that's just not how I was taught. You know, when I first started practicing yoga 20 years ago, and I had all different teachers, it was always inhale, exhale, in through the nose, out through the nose. And so that's what I got used to, and that's what I got accustomed to. And I teach a lot of what was taught to me. But there are also things that I've totally switched up and, you know, figured out my own way of doing it and taught that way. And so breathing, for some reason, is something that I've just never played around with. I've always just done what I was taught to do. But I'm starting to play around with it a little bit on my own, and eventually I'll bring that to my classes too once I feel a little more confident about it and I've researched it a little bit and have reasons for why it's okay to do it that way. So start at the top of your head, work your way all the way down to your feet. Take note of how you're feeling. It's Friday. It's the end of the week, right? Maybe you had a busy week. Maybe you worked out a lot. Maybe you didn't work out a lot. Maybe you don't feel so great, or your allergies are bothering you, or your sinuses are bothering you. All these things come into your yoga practice, and they change your practice for that day. They affect it for sure. So you always want to be aware of all those little tiny things. You know, it's silly, but what you ate for dinner last night can affect your practice today if it's just kind of laying heavy in your stomach. Or maybe you're hungry right now, or maybe you're a little thirsty right now, or maybe you drank too much. That's going to affect your practice too, because you're going to have to run to the bathroom. But start at the top of your head, work your way down, and just take note of how you're feeling. And then as we move through our poses, our simple seated poses, our sun salutations, just some standing stretches, if you feel like something's not working out quite right, maybe you can go back and figure out why. You know, when you do a dog, if you feel like you got all this pressure in the middle of your face, maybe it's your sinuses, maybe it's your allergies. You know, you want to take all that into consideration as you practice. So take a minute, make a little mental list. If you're lucky enough to wake up and say, I feel great every day, nothing aches, then that's what you bring to your practice. Take advantage of that now, because you're probably in your 20s and it's not going to last. A friend and I have been talking this week a lot about how things that you did when you were younger affect you now physically. You know, and there are things that you wish you could have said to your 16-year-old self, you know, in preparation for being in your 40s and waking up with like a knee that feels crummy every morning. You know, like don't run as cardio, because running will always end up killing you. You know, fast walk instead, or bike, or, you know, like just little things like that. You know, I swam competitively. I was never as good as Alex, but I swam competitively, and I played soccer in high school, which I also stunk at, and I figure skated for a while. I kind of did a lot of everything, but I wasn't especially great at any of it. But when I got into college, I started running and I jogged, and I was never super fast, but I was consistent, and I did it for quite a few years as my main form of cardio. And even though I wasn't super quick and I wasn't placing in any of the 5 or 10Ks I was in, it definitely affected my knees. And I can feel it when the weather gets colder, certain times of the month when I'm more hormonal, I can feel like an achiness in my knees. And I wish I could go back and say, just don't run, girl. You don't look good doing it. You're not especially fast. Just don't do it. You'll feel better when you're in your mid-40s if you don't do it now. So, anyway, pull your knees into your chest. Bring your arms out into the big T, palms up. Let your legs drop over to the right. Take a twist. Let them go all the way down to the floor. Notice too, because I know I'm dramatic about the weather, but it's definitely cooler than it was a month or two ago. Notice if you're a little stiffer, if things aren't falling and settling quite as easy, and maybe you have to take a couple more breaths and really encourage the fall. Let gravity really work for you, especially in a pose like this where you really want to settle into it and just relax. So take a minute, legs are down on the right. And stiff today, for sure. So I've got one kid going to swim later. That's my responsibility. And then there's another kid going to swim 2 hours later, but that's Mike's responsibility. Apparently the Yankees are playing tonight in a big game, so that's a whole other conversation. Cam and I just wanted the living room to watch Netflix and have a Halloween movie date, but we're getting ousted for the Yankees, so. In other news, if you haven't heard, apparently Adam Sandler has a new Halloween movie on Netflix that is kid-friendly. He's hysterical, but some of his movies are questionable with language and, different things like that. But apparently the new one that's on Netflix is a Halloween movie starring Adam Sandler, and it's tween and teen friendly. So that's what we'll be watching tomorrow night. Assuming the stupid Yankees aren't on. I don't know. I'm not a sports fan. Unless it's figure skating or something. All right, pull your knees up to center. Come on into happy baby, or one hand on each kneecap, going wide with your arms, letting gravity pull them down. Settle the femurs into the hip sockets. Bottoms of the feet facing up towards the ceiling. I did something funky to one of my hips this week, and I fixed it with yoga. And I love when that happens. I wish that when I did that kind of thing, I thought to set up my phone and video it. But I'm usually just in a hurry to try to fix myself, so I don't ever think to do that. But let me think. How did it happen? Okay. Bring your knees over to the left. Let your legs settle. Right arm is out at your side, palm up. So I was doing Tabata last weekend. If you're not familiar with Tabata, Diane Rohm introduced me to it at the beginning of COVID, like back in March or April. She was doing it with her daughter, and she told me she was doing that instead of yoga, and I Googled it, and I kind of fell in love with it a little bit. It is very quick bursts of working out and high energy, but literally very quick, like 30 seconds. So for 30 seconds, you do all the push-ups you can, or you do all the sit-ups, or all the mountain climbers, or twisted bicycles. You do all that you can in this quick period of time, and then you take 10 seconds off. And then you do 30 seconds of something else, and then 10 seconds off. And then 30 seconds back to the first one, and then 10 seconds off. So it's 30-second bursts, and the one that I like to do is a quick warm-up. 21 minutes in total, which is totally doable, and I think that's why I like it so much, because you can always wrap your head around 21 minutes, right? You're not going to die in 21 minutes. So I like this one a lot, but it's a quick warm-up, and then you do 4 sets each of a combination of push-ups and twisted bicycles. It's supposed to be burpees, but I can't do burpees. That's why I do push-ups instead. So 4 quick sets each of those, and then you get 60 seconds off. And then the next one is 4 quick sets of squats and mountain climbers. And then you get 60 seconds off. And then you do like 2 minutes of yoga and a plank, and then you're done. And you literally can feel your heart racing because you're moving so quick through stuff, and you break a sweat, and it's 21 minutes of fantastic cardio. So bring your knees up to center, come on into happy baby, or one hand on each kneecap one more time. But I was doing that last weekend, and I was doing it on my own. I wasn't doing it following the self video on YouTube that I usually do, and I think I overdid it with my mountain climbers, and I think I pulled a hip flexor on my left side on the front of my hip, and I could feel that there was a knot there. I kept walking around making Alex and Mike feel me and feel the knot because it was huge, and I just needed to release it. So I did some hip openers, I did some yoga stretches, I took not a ton of time, but a little bit of time and really focused on that area. And within an hour of finishing, I could feel the knot just kind of dissolve into my body, and I felt so much better. So that's what I'm bringing to the practice today. A little bit of residual tightness in my left hip, a little bit of achiness in my right knee because that's been something for like 2 weeks from like a little twist that I did stepping over a stick. But that's what I'm bringing to my practice today. So those are the things I'm going to be aware of. Okay, roll your right, come on up to hands and knees with me. Got my whole house clean today. Well, the boys were doing school, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. But unfortunately, everyone's home all weekend. Well, we'll be at the beach tomorrow. It's going to be a mess by tonight is what I'm basically saying to you. It's a short-lived gratification when you clean your house and you live with all boys. Spread your fingers nice and wide. And we're going to just start to cat and cow a little bit. Try to exaggerate the movements and move on your breath, whichever breath that is that works best for you. That's what I'm going to say right now until I figure out how I want to adjust my breath teaching, my prana teaching. But just move comfortably, move a little bit aggressively. Try to really bring some length to your spine from the crown of the head up to the tailbone. Okay? I love the exhale part. I love that arch in the low back. I love really overdoing that and sticking my butt out like crazy and just feeling that stretch go all the way up into my tailbone area. Every once in a while that gets super tight and crunched. I feel like when I walk up a lot of hills as part of my workout, I crunch into my low back. I think I lean into the hill and I compress into my low back. So yesterday I wanted to shake things up a little. I went up Bradford, I went down Bradford, I kind of went through Montclair a little bit, and then I had to go up and over Bradford again to get back home, and I could feel it last night. I could feel the crunching because those are pretty steep hills. So come on up into downward facing dog. Oh my goodness, make this feel good. Do what you need to make this feel good. My hair is tickling my face. Lift high on your toes. Bend your knees. Press your hips back towards the wall behind you. And then straighten your legs by pressing out through the backs of the knees and allowing the heels to drop. Let the back of your neck be nice and long and loose. Oh, that feels so good. So what we're going to do from here, come down onto hands and knees and step forward with the right foot coming into a low lunge. We're just going to open up the hip a little, play with that for a second. So roll onto the outside edge of the right foot. Can you see how I'm doing that? So that almost the whole bottom of my foot is not making contact with the mat, just the outer edges. My knee is going out to the side. And then we're going to bring that knee back. We're going to do 1 or 2 quick cat and cows. Wearing the wrong underwear. That's right. That's what I said. You know how you have different underpants for different things? And I'm not speaking strictly like sexy time. I'm talking about working out. I'm not wearing shiny underwear, so my yoga pants are sticking to the cotton and it's bunching. It's a lot of information, but someone out there watching this knows exactly what I'm talking about, and you're having the same problem. So it's for you, girl. Knee is going out to the side. You're on the outside edge of the left foot. And then we're going to come back. We're going to go into a wide knee child's pose, but we're going to incorporate the arms. So before you go into your child's pose, I want you to watch me for a second so you know what I'm doing and you get a visual versus just having me explain it to you, okay? So wide knees, big toes touch. Hips are going to go back, arms are going to go out in front of you, forehead or chin down to the ground. Then you're going to scrunch your elbows up around the side of your head, interlace your fingers, and just start to bring the hands back towards the back of your neck, down towards the floor. And you're just going to move them up and down. Not real aggressive, but moving the shoulder blades on and off the back, which is what we wanted to do. So do that for just a couple counts. You probably won't even feel much of anything, but your shoulder blades will be sliding on and off the back a little bit like wings. And you want to break up some of the tightness that's in the shoulder blades. It's the only reason we're doing it. Do a couple more, one or two more, and then make your way up onto hands and knees. We're going to come on up into dog, walk our feet all the way forward, coming into a standing forward bend at the front of the mat. So up into dog, and then little baby steps all the way up. I like to come onto my fingertips as I get closer. Cross the arms, forward bend. Gosh. Let your upper body be as heavy as it can be here. Suck it in and engage the core to create some more space to fold deeper. Fingertips to the floor. Let's inhale up to a flat back. Exhale and fold. Inhale up, flat back. My hair is going to be problematic today. Exhale and fold. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale and fold. Now from here, we're going to slide all the way up to stand, adjusting whatever you need to as you go. So we're going to do a few sun salutations, but when I'm at the front of my mat, I don't think you're going to see me from the shoulders up because of the way I have everything positioned today. So if you're not sure what you're doing, still watch me because you can still see what my body's doing. You're just not going to be able to see me talk if you're someone who relies on the visual. So come on up to the front. See, my head's cut off. Okay, roll the head of the arm bones back, palms forward. Inhale up. Find a little back bend here. Bend the knees, keep them soft. Hips are going forward, arms are reaching back behind you. Inhale up, exhale and fold. Inhale up to a flat back. Exhale and fold. Inhale up. Exhale and fold. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale and fold. We're going to step back with the right foot. Long lunge. Hands are going to come to the inside of the front foot. So remember with sun salutations, we're not holding poses for long periods of time. We're just moving through them. Even this is way too long for this lunge. We're just moving through them and building heat. Okay, so hands to the floor, step back into your dog. Inhale forward into a plank. Knees, chin, chest, or chaturanga. Knees, chin, chest, since we're not together, and chaturanga is a hang-up of mine that I'd prefer to do in person with you. All the way down, glowworm. Come on up into a high cobra. Unclench your butt, work this out a little bit. Take an extra second here in this. It feels really good, but it doesn't feel really good right away, right? It feels really good after you give it a minute. Toes come under, lift the hips, come on up into dog. Now we stepped back with the right foot, so we're going to close up the circle by stepping forward with the right foot. I have to move my hands over, and then I get my foot up there. Because of where I position my hands, I need to create space. So now we're in a lunge again. This is the knee that's been bothering me a little. I can feel it clicking. So I'm not going to bend quite as deep into that one. And then to come forward, I'm going to straighten my knee. And I'm going to hold on here. And I'm going to step up because my knee feels funky. Forward bend. Fingertips to the floor. Tailbone is high. Your spine is just lengthening out through the crown of your head. And then we're going to come all the way up to stand. Shake everything out that needs a little shake. Okay. So let's do that again, okay? Come on up to the front of your mat. Feet are hip width and parallel. Head of the arm bones back, palms forward. Inhale up. Find your little back bend here. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, fingertips to the floor. All right, right foot back. Oh no, I'm sorry, 3 flat backs. Inhale up. Exhale and fold. Inhale up. Exhale and fold. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale and fold. Right foot back. Long lunge. Remember what I said, these are quick lunges. So you're going to step back. Inhale forward into your plank. Just by rolling forward. I don't know if you can see my feet, but all I'm doing to go from my dog into my plank is rolling forward onto the balls of my feet. Knees, chin, chest. Sliding through, coming up into my glowworm, unclenching my butt. I'm here in my high cobra, and I'm trying to release everything in my low back that I can so I don't end up feeling tighter than when I started. Curl my toes under, lift my hips, come on up into dog. Right foot forward, long lunge, and then left foot forward, standing forward bend at the front of your mat. One more big breath. Perfect. And come on up. Okay, that was good. I think we will do one more. I'm trying to give you minimal instructions so that it's more of a flow for you. This one I'm not going to talk at all. It's exactly the same as the last 2 that we've done. If you need a visual, then just watch or glance up. But I'm going to do it exactly the same at pretty much the same rate. Okay? So let's start at the front of our mats. Hands come to your heart in prayer. Head of the arm bones back. Let's release the arms. Inhale up. Find a little back bend. Exhale, fingertips to the floor. Inhale up to your flat back. on all the way up to stand. All right, so I hope that felt good for you. Let us come on down to sit. We're just going to stretch out a little bit here on the floor, and then we're going to Shavasana. So legs out long in front of you, feet are flexed. So when you're sitting here, you're pressing the backs of the knees down into the mat, kind of grounding down through your sit bones so you can sit up straight and tall. And you're pressing out through the four corners of your feet. So it's your big toe mound, pinky toe side, inner heel, outer heel, right? So I want you to just find a little rocking motion here, noticing how the backs of your hips feel. Hopefully they feel similar, and hopefully that's a good similar and not like an achy, sciatica similar. We're going to come down onto our right forearm on the outside of our right hip, extend our left arm up and over, looking underneath it, stretching out the left side body, but keeping the back of the left hip down on the ground. We don't want to lift up. And then come on up. Same thing on the other side. Lengthen out through the fingertips. And back to center. Both arms are going to come up. Sometimes just lengthening your side body, forward bend. Get to wherever you can. Hold on to whatever is comfortable for you. Flex the feet, sides of the feet, tops of the feet. Maybe you're holding your calves. Maybe your hands are back here. Whatever you're doing that's helping you to forward bend, do that. And then find that rocking motion again. Settle it. Use the motion to settle the backs of your hips down into the ground. And maybe, this happens for me, maybe it'll happen for you too. As you rock, you can kind of wiggle yourself out of the tightness in your low back, and you can start to fold a little bit deeper. And then come on up. We're going to come into a half S with our right leg bent behind us and out to the side. If this hurts your knee, don't do it. Make it a bigger opening, or just keep the leg out in front. Or, this is a little weird trick. I don't have anything here to do it with, but when you get your socks out of the laundry and you kind of ball them up to put them in your drawer, you like twist them inside each other. Take that ball of sock, put it in the back of your knee, create some space, like really put it in there, then bend your leg into position, keeping the socks there. You can use a rolled up washcloth too, but it sort of forces space, and sometimes it makes a huge difference. Just a thought. So, left leg is out in front, foot is four corners of the feet, right leg is settled, arms up. We're going to forward bend here over the left leg, coming into a forward bend. And again, maybe you're here, maybe you're here. I could care less. It doesn't matter. You should care less too. You're just going deeper into the forward bend by engaging the core and creating space. So whatever you're holding on to just means your shoulders are more open. It's not indicative of anything. And then come on up. Let's switch it up. Go to the other side. So left leg out behind you, half an S, right foot, four corners of the feet. So I have a harder time on this side. My right hip is tighter, which you probably have heard me say a million times, but I also tend to lean into this side for some reason. I'm not sure why. So I try to adjust and change my tripod, but I also will just lean into it. So you're going to walk your hands out, come into your forward bend. See, I'm leaning. I hate that, and I can see it on the phone, which makes me nuts. Pull yourself into your forward bend, wherever that is for you. We're just going to take a couple breaths here. Come on up. Last thing that we're going to do is just a quick little shoulder opener that we've also done. Gosh, like what kind of craziness do I have going on here? Quick little shoulder opener that we've also done a million times, but my shoulders feel a little locked still, so if yours do too, then this will help. Right hand to left shoulder, left hand to the back of the right elbow. Just press into yourself. And find your breath here, right? Always find the breath. That's always what's going to ground you and calm you through yoga, through a stressful moment, through a terrible conversation, through anything. Find your breath. And then switch it up. And release. Same thing on the other side. Switch it up. Okay. You guys lie down on your back. Get comfy for just a minute. Arms at your side, palms up. Find your breath. I hope that felt good for you. I needed that. I need more though. I'm not sure what more I need. I'm just feeling it in certain places, like I need more. Stuff to like loosen my traps maybe. Maybe another big hip opener. I don't know, I just feel like I need some more. I'll figure it out. Close your eyes. If they're not closed, let your mind wander here. Don't dwell on any one thought for too long. Let it come in and then let it go away. Okay, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes a little bit. Bring a little sensation back, a little waking up. When you are ready, pull everything in, roll over to the right, come on up to a comfortable seated position, any position that feels good. Hands come to your heart in prayer. Close your eyes, take in a big inhale. Exhale. Inhale again. And exhale. Namaste. Thank you guys for practicing with me. It's an honor and a privilege to have you guys watch these videos and to comment and to tell me that you watch them. I can't believe it's been 7 months. This is number 53. But it's great that we all still get to practice together, whether we're in our houses or in our driveways or in our basements or wherever we are. Even though we can't be together, it's still good to have that community. So I appreciate you and I'm thankful for you. I hope you have a great week. Stay healthy. Get outside. Just, bundle up with like a scarf and gloves and stuff. And I will see you soon. Take care.